Hey, Bill. I saw a trailer.
Welcome to Hitting the Brakes with Bill.
You know, Bill, every once in a while, there's a movie or a trailer for a movie that will surprise me. Now, I like to pride myself on the number of movies I've watched, especially ones that a lot of my friends have never seen. All kinds of old movies that I'll be like, oh, have you ever seen this, this? Nope, they hadn't seen it. I'm like, yeah, you should, because it's good. But then there's just these weird, random, well, not really random because they're super popular, movies that I've always known about, always meant to watch, always wanted to watch, but just somehow put it off. So many times I'll be talking to you or Sky or James, Adam, Martin, a number of people. And they'll say, oh, have you seen this or that? And, well, what about, they'll be talking about Gene Hackman. And I'll be like, oh, I've never seen, I keep wanting to say French Lieutenant's Woman. I haven't seen The French Connection. And then they look at me. What? What? You've got to watch it. So I mentioned a trailer. Now, I've seen a lot of Burt Reynolds movies. Sorry. For my friend Scott, I say his name weird because we've got a couple people where we say their name weird because a friend of ours couldn't say somebody's name correct. He'd always say, Donald Pleasance, and then we'd look at him and go, what? What did you say? But we give him such a hard time about it. So Burt Reynolds, we would call him, just as a joke. Now, again, with Burt Reynolds, I've seen a lot of his movies, but there are a few that I haven't seen. There's a few of the very last ones he did, that I haven't seen. Now to think of it, I feel like I haven't watched anything at all, except for the super popular ones, like Smokey and the Bandit and Hooper. But the thing was, I came across on YouTube just randomly. It was SHAMUS from I think it was like '73. But I put that trailer on, and there you go, blew my mind. Now there are a lot of movies out there right now that I could talk to somebody and they'll be like, oh yeah, I would love to have been in the Avengers, or I'd love to have been like in Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever, any of the Avengers. But if you said movies or something like that, what movie would you like to have been in? SHAMUS, 1973. Now granted, I would have been like 3 years old when they were making that, so you couldn't recognize me unless you saw my feet, because they were big. So I came across SHAMUS, the trailer, and I watched it. I absolutely loved it. And then I see that there's a beautiful copy on YouTube. So that means this weekend I'm going to watch it. Now, I would have watched it last weekend, but I am absolutely swamped. I'm working on an audiobook for a well-known author, Scott Oden, and his book, A Clockwork's Dreaming and Other Tales. A wonderful, cozy story. You'll love it.
Well, congratulations, Moose. I now need SHAMUS to live a healthy life. Seriously, I knew it existed. I'd never seen the trailer before. I know of that time in Burt Reynolds' career. By the way, last week, by total coincidence, I visited and paid respects to Burt Reynolds' grave at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. So this is sort of something in the air, I guess, or the water, perhaps, or the bird, or the mustache. But SHAMUS comes at that period of time, man. I don't think the guy had any strikes. He made some really interesting movies, in addition to the goofy stuff. You know, he juggled tones so well. He was able to do, like, really dark stuff. And then he did fun stuff like Hooper And Nickelodeon, you know, like Hooper was all about him being a stuntman. But then there's a movie called The Hustle with Catherine Deneuve from 1975, I think it was. And, you know, Catherine Deneuve really didn't have a lot of shot at American cinema. You know, I think all these French actors who were enormous wanted to give it a go. But it was a real fun movie, you know, real Los Angeles thing. Also, the thing about Shamus is that it appears to be a New York City noir or a crime thriller. Actually, it kind of looks like a blaxploitation movie with Burt, except set in New York. I don't really recall seeing Burt as a New York guy. He's really like a Los Angeles and a mountain kind of guy. Movies later on in the 70s and 80s, he's really a West Coast kind of thing. But yeah, I guess we're going to have to watch this. We may have to revisit this topic at some point later on. What do you say?
Bill, I believe we are morally obligated to watch Shamus before the end of this year. Catch you on break, Moose. You too, Mr. Reynolds.